Have you ever worked under a toxic leader before? I've had three different occasions where I've had to work underneath toxic leadership and lead a team while I was working underneath toxic leadership. And the way that I overcame it was in the first situation, I just kind of had to not necessarily grin and bear it, but I had to just make it through the other side because there were actually issues with that particular leader. And it was evident and obvious to other leaders who were also interacting with them. But for some reason, they decided to make me the scapegoat. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to push through. And in the end, everything worked out and I was fine. So outlasted that particular person. In the second situation, I ended up eventually leaving that particular work environment because it just really was not the best work environment. The two people in charge with the highest positions there didn't like each other. So you can imagine what it did to the organization. But I do believe that I was there to help some individuals who were there. So I was there, I planted my seeds, and when it was over and my time was up, then I moved on to greener pastures. And in the last situation, it was an opportunity for me to go ahead and work overseas. So I took that on and I didn't know who my boss was going to be until I got there. But eventually that boss also got moved as well. So when it comes to just overcoming these types of situations, what I have learned personally is something is going to happen where either that person is going to be moved or I will be moved. And in the instances of the leaders that were toxic, at least actually all three of them got moved at some point in time. But one got moved after I left the organization. But either I get moved or I move on to something bigger and better, or those leaders have gotten moved. So how have you handled toxic leaders in the past? Let me know in the comments.